We were in the middle of cleaning up after a Friday night takeout, just the usual routine, when Tyler stops, mid-wipe, and says, "So, your girl Chloe came by my office today. I didn't even look up from the Tupperware." "Oh yeah? What did she want? Lunch recommendation?" He didn't laugh. There was this weird, heavy silence, the kind that makes the hair on your arms stand up. He looked at me, his face all tight, and said, "She told me I need to leave you, Maya. She told me to pack my bags and walk out the door, tonight." The world kind of tilted. Chloe, my ride or die since the 3rd grade, the girl who literally held my hair back through every bad breakup and helped me pick out the engagement ring I'd been hinting at for months. I laughed. It had to be a joke, right? "Okay, funny. You guys got me. Where's the hidden camera?" But Tyler wasn't smiling. He looked hurt. "I'm serious. She cornered me, said I wasn't good enough for you, said she'd make my life a living hell if I didn't end it." I felt like I'd been doused in ice water. Why would she do that? She'd been the biggest Tyler and Maya cheerleader from day one. She's the one who suggested we move in together. Was she in love with him? No. They're like brother and sister. Or maybe she was just jealous? I couldn't shake it. I spent the next 2 days in a total fog, playing back every brunch, every double date, looking for a sign. Finally, I couldn't take it. I drove over to her place on Sunday morning, heart hammering against my ribs. She opened the door in her pajamas, looking like she hadn't slept in a week. I didn't even say hi. I just walked in and shouted, "What is wrong with you? Why are you trying to blow up my life?" Chloe didn't fight back. She just stood there, looking broken. She walked over to her kitchen counter and picked up a manila folder. "I was trying to save you, Maya. I wanted him to be the one to leave, so you wouldn't have to be the one to find out. This." She dropped the folder. I opened it, and my stomach just dropped. It wasn't love letters or "I miss you" texts. It was paper, business papers. See, Tyler's been investing our shared savings into a startup. Turns out, that startup was just a series of shell companies he'd set up to funnel money into a high-stakes gambling habit. And a condo in the city. A condo where he was staying 3 nights a week with someone who definitely wasn't me. The photos. God, the photos. Chloe had hired a private investigator because she'd seen him out with her once and couldn't believe it. There he was, smiling, holding her hand, spending my inheritance. I felt like I was going to throw up. I looked at Chloe and she was crying. I told him to leave. I thought if he just disappeared, I could help you fix the finances, and you'd never have to know that he was a monster. I stood there for a long time, looking at the wreckage of my life. And then I stopped crying. I got very, very cold. I looked at her and said, "He wants a startup? Let's give him a startup." The next night, I sat Tyler down. I acted like the perfect apologetic girlfriend. I told him I'd talked to Chloe and we'd worked it out. Then, I handed him a new investment contract for his business. I told him my parents wanted to put in another $50,000, but they needed him to sign this guarantor agreement first. He didn't even read it. He was so smug, so sure he'd won. He signed that paper with a flourish, a big loopsy signature. Little did he know, he'd just signed a full confession of embezzlement and a legal transfer of all his personal assets, including that city condo, directly to me, as repayment for stolen funds. I waited until the ink was dry. Then, I slid the folder of photos across the table. I watched the blood drain from his face. He started to stammer, to lie, but I just stood up, grabbed my keys, and looked at him. "The locks are already changed at the condo, Tyler, and the police are waiting downstairs for the embezzlement report. Chloe's waiting in the car. Have a nice life." I've never felt lighter in my entire life.